You know I'm fanatical about using the ATR. I'm going to talk about why and how to use the ATR to be more profitable. Hi, this is Tim from TradingStrategyGuides.com. My voice is still rough, but I haven't lost it yet. Please bear with me on that. I had a great response from you guys on Monday to the Leap of Faith. You guys are awesome, and I know big things are in store for you. Today I'm going to show you why and how to use the ATR to help your trading. Plus, I'm going to reveal what some of you committed to on Monday's video. After that, we're going to look at a daily setup on an old friend, Boston Beer Company, maker of Samuel Adams beer, among other brands. But first, I'll show you what's happening with the Litecoin Bitcoin trade, and then later on, the trading maxim for the day. It's on like Donkey Kong. Did I really say that? Remember to click the subscribe button and hit that bell so you don't miss these trading techniques. On to the charts. Sunday's candle on the Litecoin Bitcoin cross closed slightly above our support level at the bottom of the range. So I closed the trade for a tiny 0.2% loss. The volume and volatility are continuing to decline here and here. So I'm moving the range support down to 59.75, and we'll try this again. Just to be clear, we will sell a close below the 59.75 level. You may remember from last week's videos that I've already gotten profit on the Kiwi Swiss, and now I'm just watching to see what result we would have gotten from using the parabolic SAR to follow stops. Doing that, our current stop would be right here on the last PSAR point. Around 64.06 to lock in 17 pips. Okay, I'll show you the Boston Beer setup shortly, but first I'm going to show you why and how I use the average true range, or ATR, for setting up the first target. Today I'm going to show you why I love the average true range, or ATR, for setting targets. The reason I like this idea is because it auto-adjusts your target based on the market and the time frame. Therefore, you don't have to worry about remembering specific targets for all the different markets you trade. Now, I'm going to explain this in gory detail. I apologize to all you numbery people out there for which all of this is very obvious. But I know there are folks that struggle with math, and I want to be sure everyone understands. So you mathy geeks, just bear with me for a minute or so on this. You've heard me say it in many a video. The ATR is simply the average length of the last 14 candles. What does that even mean? I use a 14-period moving average of the ATR. So in all the cases where the market closes over the weekend, which is most of them, we're talking about the last 3 weeks of trading. The ATR measures the length of each of the last 14 candles, adds them all together, divides that by 14. So the result is a moving average that adjusts for the volatility of the last 3 weeks. When volatility declines, we call it market compression, which is all just a fancy way of saying that the price doesn't move around as much. When volatility declines, a fixed size target is far less likely to be hit. When volatility increases, also called market expansion, and the price moves around more, your fixed stop loss is more likely to be hit. Neither of these situations is ideal. What if you have a strategy that you like on the daily chart and you want to try it out on the 4-hour chart? How do you adjust your targeting to handle a shorter time frame? Let me show you a couple of quick examples. I picked a couple of extremes so you can see the profound effect. Here's a daily chart of the Great British Pound Australian Dollar pair. As you can see, the current ATR is right around 139 pips. As you may know, I typically use 1 times the ATR for my targeting, so my target for trading signals on this chart would be 139 pips. Well, let's quickly drill down to the 4-hour chart. You can see on the 4-hour chart the ATR is now 51 pips. So for signals taken on this time frame, I would use 51 pips as my target. Let's take a look at another market. Here's a daily Euro US dollar chart. I was going to show you the Euro Swissy, which is typically the lowest volatility pair, but I've got an active pattern on it, so I didn't want to confuse the issue here. Now here you can see that the daily ATR is about 41 pips, and the 4-hour ATR is about 14 pips. So you can see the problem with having a strategy that says, well, your target is 25 pips, where that's a trivial amount for the pound Aussie daily, or even the 4-hour chart, but it's more significant for the 4-hour Euro USD. Then, of course, you have the problem of other markets. Here's a daily Litecoin chart. What's a good target for this? Who even knows? Well, 1 times the ATR is a great target, so the chart gives you your target right over here, $2.57. And of course, the ATR adjusts for market expansion and compression automatically. You can see back here in July of 2019 that the ATR was over $11. It's also over $11 right here. So you can adjust your targets accordingly. I responded to a comment that I would discuss the reward risk issue in this video, but I find that I wanted to cover both targeting and the stop loss before I get into the issue of using a larger stop loss than a target. I apologize, but I will definitely cover that subject in Friday's video about ATR stop losses. Remember in Monday's video I challenged you to a leap of faith, complete with a picture of Indiana Jones and everything. I'm happy to say that I got a much better response this time. You guys are awesome. Congratulations. I appreciate your commitment to your trading. So, are you ready to hear about the challenge? Yes? No? This is going to sound a little crazy, but if you think about it, you'll understand. I want you to take $50 cash and hand it to the next homeless person you see. Yes, cash. Why cash? Everyone always says they want to buy them a meal at McDonald's instead of handing them cash because homeless people will just spend it on drugs or something. Well, the point is, this time it's none of your business what they use it for. This is not for them. This is for you. You have to be able to hand someone money and then not worry about what happens to it afterwards. Comment below about whether you did this and what results you had from it. Why am I telling you to do this? When you hear today's trading maxim, you'll understand. So stay tuned. All right, let's take a look at the Boston beer setup. So I just like saying Boston beer. It's been in this triangle for several months now, complete with declining volume and declining volatility right here. So I think we got a nice explosion just waiting to happen. Boston Beer Company is traded on the New York Stock Exchange with the ticker symbol of SAM. Get it? Samuel Adams Beer? I know that was sort of Captain Obvious, wasn't it? Here's our trade plan. We will buy a daily close above the triangle, or we'll sell a daily close below the triangle. On the breaking candle, to enter a full-size position, I want this volume bar to reach up to this volume average right here. If it doesn't quite reach the average but does reach 75% of the average, I'll open a half-size position to reduce risk. You can calculate the percentage by dividing the volume right here by the volume average. You should get 0.75. If you don't get 0.75, stand aside on the trade. The stop loss will be 1.5 times the ATR. The first target will be 1 times the ATR. So again, on the breaking candle, you want to look over here for the ATR, and you will put your stop loss 1.5 times that number behind your entry. So let's say it breaks down here, and there's your entry right at the close of that candle. You will measure 1.5 ATRs back up here, and that will be your stop loss. You will measure 1 ATR down here, and that will be your first target. Of course, it will be the opposite if it breaks to the upside. If after entering the trade, you get a candle close back inside the triangle, we'll take the loss right then and not wait for it to hit the stop loss. Our intention is that a breakout of this pattern should be explosive and hit our target fairly quickly. If the momentum goes away, we want to shut the trade down without taking a full stop if possible. And you can tell the momentum has gone away if you get a close back inside the original consolidation. When the price hits our first target, we'll close half the position for profit, set the stop loss to break even on the remainder. We will then follow stops as price moves in our direction until the market takes us out. Now, these two rules are the very definition of cutting your losses and letting your winners run. Typically, I do this using two positions. First position has a stop loss and a take profit attached at the appropriate prices. That position will close automatically when the first target is hit. The second position will have only a stop loss associated with it, and that's the position that will be allowed to run. When the first target is hit, we will have to manually move our stop loss up to break even on the second position. I will risk about 2% of my account on each trade. And that's the new setup on Boston Beer Company. As always, my intent here is to tell you how I intend to manage these trades. If you've already got a good trade management plan, please use it. Things that work for me may not work for you. You have to understand your own mind to find the best strategies for your trading. And that's my intent for the trading maxims, to help control your emotional impulses and keep you on the straight and narrow path. A maxim is a general truth, fundamental principle, rule of conduct, or a proverbial saying. The purpose of my maxims is to motivate me to discipline in trading as well as other areas of my life. I suggest you start your own list of maxims, things that you can say to yourself while you're trading or doing life to make sure you always do the right thing. Feel free to borrow from my list. And today, it's Tim's trading maxim number 10. Don't worry if you left money on the table. It's not worth the stress. You have to get past the need to squeeze every single cent from a trend run. It's okay to leave money on the table. There will always be another trade. Once you're out of the trade, you're out. Don't worry about whether you missed some of the move. I mean, for learning purposes, it's okay to watch it. Sort of like we're doing with the Kiwi Swissy to see if following stops with the PSAR would have been a better plan. But I'm not stressed out at all about the fact that I'm out of that trade and may or may not have been able to make more money on it. That's just undue stress. Don't stress yourself out on things you can't change. Just learn the lesson and move on. Bringing this around to the challenge, you need to learn to let loose of money. You have to be willing to lose some to win. You have to be willing to leave some on the table or in the hands of that homeless person. Don't forget to comment below about your results. Remember our daily Boston Beer trade plan here. We're going to buy a daily candle close above the triangle or sell a daily candle close below the triangle. If the volume is not quite average, go half size as long as it's at least 75% of the average. Your stop loss is 1.5 times the ATR and your first target is 1 times the ATR. Remember to click the link below to the trade management video for more details. And sign up for my free Trading Picks email list so you don't miss any of these great trading picks. I send out about 3 or 4 trading picks a week on all sorts of markets. And the best thing is, it's free. I'll put the link below this video. Be sure to come back to Trading Strategy Guides YouTube channel every week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time for my new videos. We'll have a nice trade setup or two on each one and maybe some extra Q&A or training. Don't hesitate to ask any questions you may have. I'll either answer your question right in the comments or in a training video or both. And remember, the only stupid question is the unasked one. And don't forget your action step to hand $50 cash to the next homeless person you see. Comment below if you did it and what were your results. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up below. Have a great remainder of your week, and I'll see you next time.